Let's get after this. Hey, hey. Leadership isn't a title. Hey, pressure makes leaders. Hey. Unified leadership. Hey, unified leadership.
Pressure makes leaders. Fire reveals truth. Forged in the struggle, built to break through. Unified leadership. We stand when it's hard. Different voices, one vision. Together we spar. Built through connection, stronger as one. Changing tomorrow by what we've begun.
Unified leadership. Feel the fire ignite. When leaders unite, the future burns bright. Seafood Raphael with the vision and voice. Built through discipline, pressure and choice. Coach T.O. Clay, battle tested and tried, turning trials into purpose, helping leaders rise. Pressure
Doesn't break you,
it reveals you.
you are the steel. Pressure makes leader, 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 leader.
Unified leadership. Raise the bar. Raise the bar. Unified leadership.
Welcome, everyone, to the Unified Leadership Summit Speaker Spotlight. As you can see on the screen, we have a bunch of incredible speakers. Our leadership was born, unified leadership was born from a shared vision between Coach T.O. Clay and myself. We believed leadership needed something different, a place where leaders from different backgrounds and industries and experiences and stages of their journey could come together, learn from one another, and grow together. That vision became unified leadership. And on August 21st, it comes together at the Unified Leadership Summit. Tonight, we're giving you a glimpse of what you can expect. You're going to hear from incredible leaders, each bringing a different perspective and real-world experience to leadership. But tonight, they only get 2 minutes. Think of tonight as the trailer. On August 21st, you get the full experience. The summit runs from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern, and we've made it incredibly easy for you to join us. General admission is only $47. For $97, VIP gives you a lifetime access to all of the summit recordings, plus an exclusive closed-door mastermind immediately following the event. You'll see the registration information running across the bottom of the screen, and it will also be put in the chat. So go to unifiedleader.com/summit and secure your seat. Tonight is just a taste of what we have planned. Let's meet the leaders who will be joining us on August 21st. I am beyond thrilled to introduce to you our first incredible leader. When you think about leadership has so many different aspects to it. And the more we consider leadership, the more we're able to bring together the incredible people who are going to be here tonight. Bethany Stone teaches people to speak and to lead with presence. Think about that, to speak and lead with presence, right? With 23 years as a Montessori educator, she now helps young people and executives come together. I apologize, my things got all rambled up over here. So pardon me, Bethany, pardon me for you listening. But this is what happens. Leaders know when they made a mistake, and they honestly say so. So I made a mistake. So she does help youth leaders, speakers, and executives find their authentic voice, build confidence, and understand how daily personal development shapes the way we communicate and lead Please welcome Bethany Stone.
Thank you, Sifu. So, for my preview, I want to talk about two different spaces. And the first space I want to talk about today is about Viktor Frankl. I don't know if you know his story, but he wrote Man's Search for Meaning, and he was a psychiatrist in a concentration camp. He had lost his wife, he had lost his parents and most of his siblings, and he was standing all alone, and he was stripped of everything. He was literally naked, and with nothing left, he had the most amazing moment. He realized something that nobody could touch, and that was that he still had a choice. Not a choice about what happened to him, but a choice about who he was inside of it. And that choice is motivation. He found that in the worst room, a worst room that any human could ever be in, he found that he still had a choice. The instant that we feel like we don't have a choice is when we start losing our control and our motivation. When we realize that we always have a choice, it changes the way that we look at our world around us. So today, what I want you to walk away with is that on top of good leadership, there is real work that has to be done, and that is understanding that your autonomy and your choice is your motivation. And they are not two things that balance against each other. They are the same thing, just wearing different hats. So if you want to hear more of this amazing talk, make sure that you come and join us on August 21st and come join the Unified Leadership and just experience. This is going to be an experience. This is going to be epic. And everyone in this room. And the choice is yours. And that's the coolest thing, because we do have the choice. And the choice to lead is given to all.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Bethany. I'm sorry, Bethany, you are such a rock star, and I wanted to hear more, to be honest with you. And for those of you who want to hear more, you need to join us on, are you ready? August 21st. You're going to have 7 hours of all these incredible people. The next person I want to introduce to you is Dr. Kevin Fickenshare. He's a globally recognized physician, executive healthcare strategist, author, and leadership expert with decades of experience transforming organizations, developing leaders. Please welcome Dr. Kevin Fickenshare.
Welcome to everybody. It's good to be here this evening. You know, as I thought about this presentation and what we're going to be doing at our session, it occurred to me that there's an iconic leader back in the 60s and 70s who was really important in mobilizing a lot of us to become involved in managing change, and that was Saul Alinsky. And he captures the whole notion of what purpose was and what persistence meant when he said, you need to recruit to a cell, a CELL, and you need to define your cell, be clear about it, so that you can, get others to be engaged in working with you. So I think that that's something that's important. And so the question is, what is your perspective, and how do you recruit people to your purpose? And I think that to do that, you need to accomplish your objective. You need to understand what their perspective is, what their interests are, and what their desires are, and recruit them to your cause based on their particular needs. So if we step aside from the day-to-day intrusions that occur in our lives, and we think about the whole notion of getting people engaged in working with us, and how we can focus their time and their energies and their efforts, and who will they be able to engage in supporting our efforts, and what do they define as their needs, it all comes down to starting your efforts by defining your purpose. So as an important foundational element. I think it's important for everyone to be very clear about what their purpose is, why they want to go there, what they need to go there, who needs to be involved in working with them, and to be clear about that so that you can define the direction of your overall efforts, both as a leader, as a person who's involved in leading projects, as a person who's trying to make a difference. That's what it all comes down to, is being clear about your purpose. So join us in August, and we'd love to talk with you in more detail.
It's outstanding. Next, for you all out there, it is a sincere treat. When I say sincere, sincere, a leadership GOAT, hands down. Uh, Renee Jackson Smith, man. Oh my God, my sister. She's the founder of Soar to Win. She's an executive coach, amazing, amazing speaker, and leadership consultant with more than 30 years of experience helping leaders lead with that real clarity, that real confidence, and that real conviction. Please welcome our sister, Renee Jackson Smith.
Thank you, Tio. I'm excited to be here. And I know what it's like to walk into a room when you are fully prepared, but you start second guessing yourself. You start softening your message. You're paying attention to every single face in the room, and you're trusting that more than you trust yourself. I know what that feels like. Softening your message, over explaining it. For a long time, I thought, you're being kind. You're being exactly who you need to be in that room. You're being considerate. But the thing that I learned is what you're doing is you're simply covering. You're avoiding the discomfort of delivering a message that maybe somebody needs to hear, but you're afraid to share. Those conversations that we avoid because we're afraid of conflict, we're afraid of disappointing someone. Those are exactly the conversations that we need to have. And when we avoid having those conversations, that impacts trust. It impacts the standards, and it impacts culture. You might think that culture is just something that happens in the workplace. We create culture every single day in our interactions.
Right.
And when we avoid those conversations, it impacts trust. It impacts standards, and it impacts culture. On August 21st, I'll be speaking about what you tolerate becomes culture. Those things that you avoid, those conversations that you avoid, those things that you allow to be unclear, or those behaviors that you slowly allow just to go unanswered, and you normalize them, and those dysfunctional things become normal. Let's have a conversation. Join me on August 21st. So what are people learning from you? What culture are you creating by what you avoid and what you normalize?
Hey, y'all better get in the room. Get your ticket. Hey, check out the link, unifiedleader.com/summit. Go there. You don't want to miss this, you all. You don't want to miss it. And without further ado, this next fella, man, so near and dear to my heart. You know, we keep it a buck. We keep it authentic. We keep it hot. We keep it flaming. And this next cat, he's on fire. Go online, check him out. Type in his name. He's making so much noise out there with the creator being in charge and leading from the front. This next fellow, my brother from my hometown, UL, Stephen Miller. Man, he's a amazing award-winning author, Guinness Book of World Record holder, phenomenal speaker, entrepreneur, soldier, United States Army, and the founder of W23, Where Your Worship, who brings together faith, identity, purpose, leadership, and real legacy. Please welcome to the stage my good brother, Stephen Miller.
Thank you, T.O., for that amazing introduction. I'm so excited. I was doing a recent study a while back, and there's a company called DDI Global Leaderships, and they conducted a survey in 2025. It was 11,000 leaders that they did an assessment on, over 50 countries. 70% of those leaders said that they deal with high stress environments in the workplace. 40% of those indicated that they had contemplated leaving those positions. Think about that for a second. 70% basically said they deal with high stress situations. 40% contemplated leaving or stepping down from those roles. We're talking executives. We're talking managers. We're talking supervisors. Most people see the titles. They see the accomplishments. They see the goals. They see all the achievements that leaders have or have made. What they don't see is the long drives home at night. They don't see the sleepless nights. They don't see the times where you got to make difficult decisions. They don't see the closed doors discussions that are difficult to have at times. And that's why on August 21st, I want to talk about the weight leaders carry. The weight leaders carry. During my session, we're going to talk about the high pressures that leaders typically deal with. We're going to talk about how some strong leaders, they suffer in silence. We're going to also talk about practical ways to where you can lead and be resilient without compromising yourself or losing who you are. So tune in August 21st, 2026 for the Unified Leadership Summit. Thank you.
Stephen, you're such a powerful individual, and I am so happy that Coach Theo Clay introduced me to you. And I was able to be with you in Philadelphia when all of us, many of us, were world record holders, if you will. But I got to tell you, the next person was not there with us. And because she was probably busy writing the book she's working on right now. And so it's coming out next month. So Diane McDowell is a therapist, a speaker, an author who spent nearly 2 decades in psychiatric emergency services. Through thousands of conversations, she developed a unique perspective on human behavior, relationships, and people, and how people respond in life's most challenging moments. Please welcome Diane McDowell to our virtual stage.
All right, I want you to picture there's 2 rooms. The first room, you're clear, you're confident, you say what you mean, you listen, you're in tune. The second room, something shifts. It may be the person, a specific person, it may be a loved one, it may be a meeting. And you find yourself talking more than you meant to. You find yourself explaining things that nobody even asked. You find yourself questioning yourself. Then the meeting ends, you get in the car, you start driving, and it comes back to you. All of a sudden, you're like, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Why couldn't you find that at the time? Where did that go? It's not like you learned that since the conversation ended. We experience this change, this shift. In some conversations, we show up in ways we're really proud. In some conversations, we're not. And this question got me really interested as I worked with so many people Why? What's different? Where did it go? Where did the words I wanted to say go? And that changed the way I look at people, and that changed the way I look at leadership. As a leader, what is the energy that you bring into the room? And I don't mean just energy. What I mean by this is, what is it that what do you allow others to bring in? Honesty, curiosity. You create the dynamics that allow others to show up in ways that they feel good about. If you want to learn more about this, I will be discussing the dynamic of what I call access loss, losing access to the ability to show up in a way we're the most proud. Join us August 21st for the summit.
Thank you so much, Diane. Thank you so much. I'm inspired just hearing it. I'm so excited, so pumped. Man, it's going to be phenomenal. Next, coming to our virtual stage. Hey, when I think of this gentleman, I think of one of the greatest ball players to ever live. Number 33, Larry Bird, representing Boston. And we got our good brother with us tonight, our brother, Michael Rosa, man. Operations executive, strategic leader, and a business leader with more than 30 years. Once again, y'all hearing it out there from Bethany and Diana and Renee. Man, you're talking about years, man, decades of experience of leadership. And man, what does Michael do best, man? He's, experienced at scaling and taking organizations to that next level, just like Larry Bird took those Celtics. He develops teams and he's driving significant revenue growth for you. So again, if you want to learn how to move and get those finances popping, make sure you lock in with us. And man, without doubt, man, our brother, Michael Rosa, give it to him, my good brother.
Thanks, Coach Theo. Thanks, everybody. Such a pleasure to be here, and I'm so excited to be part of the summit. My topic's going to be what it takes to be a founder. So founders are visionaries, they're innovators, they're disruptors and agitators. They're multi-dimensional thinkers, just like everybody here on the call, and observers of the world around them. That's why the Unified Leadership Summit on the 21st of August is going to be such a powerful forum for our conversation. Leadership isn't limited to business, as you'll see by this call. Leadership exists in our families, our relationships, our communities, and throughout society. But when it comes to founders, leadership begins with one critical element: mindset. A founder's mindset must be strong, must be resilient, determined, independent, and prepared to embrace criticism and adversity. We've all on the call faced adversity, we know. Founders must believe in themselves before they can expect employees, customers, partners, or investors to believe in them. History has given us extraordinary examples: Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Graham Bell, countless others. And they all faced skepticism and adversity. What separated them was confidence, determination, persistence, and an unwavering belief in what they were creating. Successful founders, they understand that something else is important. Failure, which they'll find out, it's just a speed bump. It's not a dead end. Most founders can also do everything by themselves, right? A brilliant computer scientist, they may lack operational leadership. An exceptional product developer might need help building a team and creating an organization. And a visionary founder may still need financial expertise to make their successful business. So that's where leadership becomes bigger than the founder, and that's why the summit's going to be such an important event. So whether you're building a business, a two-person startup, a mid-sized company, or an organization with ambitions to change the world, many founders, they need the fundamentals, and that's what you can find on the Leadership Summit. So during the summit, we'll dig into what truly takes to be a founder, the mindset, the leadership, the resilience, the people, the process, and discipline required to big word, discipline, take an idea and turn it into something real, sustainable, and successful. Because ultimately, having the idea may make you an entrepreneur, but having the mindset, the discipline, and the leadership skills behind it, that's what will truly make you a founder. So please join us on the 21st of August. It's going to be a great event. All these wonderful people in the room, they're all going to give us insights, and they're going to lead us to a great event. So thank you.
I got to tell you, Michael, incredible. And I cannot wait to hear you talk, because one of the things that you touched upon is discipline. And discipline is so hard for so many to attain. But the next person I'm going to bring up is someone who understands discipline. And I'm going to do life with this person because I love him to death. He and I connected in Philly, and it was such an incredible connection. And we started right off with some friction to start, and then we got going, and the friction was on purpose. And I'm the one that created the friction because I knew that he was a special person and I needed to be in his world and I needed to bring him to mine. So my good friend, my brother, Coach Timothy T.O. Clay, is a decorated retired Marine. He served 23 years as a sergeant major. So he's a leadership coach, a motivational speaker, best-selling author, co-founder of Unified Leadership. He brings more than 23 years, like I said, more than 23, because he's still leading. He may have retired. He may even have gotten the license plate that says retired, but he's not really retired. He's not retired. So his leadership experience to lead around the world is really unique. And when you even hear him, when he talks about another person, you can feel it in his passion. He has made so many connections in the world, but the connection that you need to make when you join us on August 21st is with Coach Teo, because he is someone worth knowing. Coach Teo, you're on the stage, my friend.
Thank you, brother Sifu. That's powerful. It means so much to just hear, your heart, your passion, and I'm grateful, man. That's been the word of today is gratitude. And when I look around, this platform that you and I built together, man, I'm just, all jokes aside, man, like just filled with gratitude. And come August the 21st, it's going to really be special. It's just I could try to stress it in 10 different ways, but I can promise you it's going to be special. And everyone that you've heard from up until now, and the individual leaders that we're going to introduce to you here in just a moment, my wife can't stand it, but I'm gonna say it. Trust me, please. Just trust me. You're going to want to be in the space. Like Michael said, whether it's fatherhood, motherhood, your community, the different things that you're dealing with every single day on your job. You may be a cheerleading coach. You may be a bus driver. It doesn't matter. We're all leaders, and that's what we're bringing to the table. The heaven code. I talk about it a lot. This heaven code right here, it says, I'm aware of my thoughts. I control my emotions. I take responsibility for my life. I live with discipline. I walk in purpose. I build healthy relationships. I commit to growth. I protect my peace, and I serve others. This is how I create my heaven on earth. A good buddy of mine, shout out to Terry Dunford. Terry Dunford came up with this heaven code. He shared it with me. I read it every single day, and I'm reading it to you all right now because August 21st, you're going to experience this, how you can create your heaven on earth. And every leader that you see here, they're ready to pour. You've heard about the discipline. You've heard the resiliency. You've heard about what it takes to really deal with your emotional aspect of things, emotional intelligence. All of it's going to be on display, and we want you there. We truly do. I'm a off the cuff kind of leader, and sometimes whatever God displays in my spirit, that's what I'm going to speak. So I may have one specific thing in game time. The Lord may download something else that comes out completely different, because our goal as unified leaders is to unify with you and ensure that we all walk away by 3:30, 4 o'clock on August the 21st. We all want to walk away better leaders. With that, I appreciate you. The next individual that we are bringing to that virtual stage, man, you talk about passion. This particular individual, for you all out there watching, listening, all across the waves, you meet some people in life, and those particular people, just from the beginning, you already know there's something really special about that individual. And this next individual that I'm about to introduce to you on this platform of Unified Leadership is that individual. And that individual is also known to many around the world and the globe as Amy Makowski, a fellow veteran, my sister. She's an architect of identity and capacity expansion, transformational facilitator, an executive advisor, and speaker who helps leaders break through unseen patterns and operate at high levels of clarity and leadership. Please welcome you all, our sister, Amy Makowski.
Man, oh man, how do you walk into a room with such a gracious opening without being in the deepest gratitude? Thank you, Coach Tio, for that. Thank you to each and every one of the leaders in this room. When we talk about experience, this room is what you need to be in, because I am speaking on the leadership that you don't see. We're talking behind the doors, behind the screen, behind the curtain, behind the strategy, behind the performance, and behind the perceptions. Because questions are the steering wheel of this amazing human experience. So I have one for you. And I want you to raise your hand if it applies, because I'm not asking you to just sit here and listen to me. That's not how I do things. So my question is, how many of you believe that you are self-aware? Raise your hand. Like, yeah, we can be, in school again. Raise your hand if you feel that you're self-aware. Okay, I feel a whole lot of hands going up. Now keep your hand up if you're aware of what you're not aware of. How's that feel? That's exactly what I asked you. Are you aware of what you're not aware of? And if you are, welcome to the paradox of leadership. We cannot choose, nor can we change what we cannot see. And at the highest levels of leadership, that really matters. Because when strategy is no longer the differentiator, awareness becomes our ultimate advantage. And I know this because I've lived it and continue to live it. At my spry 51 years of age in this amazing space, every new moment gifts this question to me. And I have, across multifaceted life of leadership, entrepreneurship, motherhood, service, extraordinary responsibility, success, loss, reinvention, expansion, all of those, I have continually had to examine my own thinking, my assumptions, my identity, my paradigms, and the things that are quietly influencing me that I couldn't yet see. And somewhere along the way, I realized something that completely changed the way I facilitate transformation. That the most significant shifts rarely happen because we learn something new. Most shifts happen the moment that we illuminate what has been quietly shaping us all along that we could not see. Because in that instant, something becomes visible that was never visible before, and choice becomes available. And it's that choice that can change everything that follows. So if for some reason there's one thing, one box out of 10, you got the other 9 checked. But on August 21st, if there's one thing that you're still figuring out, this is the room to be in. I'm going to do more than just talk about this awareness. We're going to experience it together. I'm not going to make you do burpees, and I'm certainly not going to ask you to take notes, because I'm not here to speak from the pulpit. I'm here to invite you to experience unified leaders. What's influencing the way that you lead today that you don't yet know the question to? That's the leadership that you don't see. So I can't wait to open that door on August 21st. Not only see you, but feel you in this room.
Wow, where do I get my
Ooh-wee.
ticket? I want to come to this
Yeah,
event.
bro.
Holy moly,
Man,
that
let's
is
go.
super. That
Yes,
is
sir.
beyond.
That's it.
Amy, not only are you such a powerhouse, but I got to tell you, when you ask the question, what you don't know, I was up there. I don't know everything. This is what great leaders realize, that they don't know everything. But this is why we are unified leadership, because we need to grow together. Because what I don't know, you know, and what you don't know, maybe I know, one of the other people here knows, and this is what it's all about. I got to tell you, the next person, I called him Han Solo earlier because he was training, if you will. He was developing something powerful. And his book is going to be coming out soon as well. So when you consider my good friend Ed Burrow is the founder and CEO of Human Ignition and creator of the Leadership Operating System, helping CEOs and executive teams strengthen decision making. What? Say that again. Strengthen decision making. I love that. Team effectiveness and organizational performance. Please welcome my good friend, Ed Burrow.
Sifu, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And, you know, I would almost guarantee right now, almost every single organization, leaders are getting the same 3-word instruction: just use AI. Over the past year, I spent time with 150 leaders, everything from CEOs to founders, executives, investors, and AI came up at least 50 times during, those interviews. And the most important point here is that the leaders that are furthest into AI really put it one way, and it's our humanness is going to become the greatest differentiator, not technology, not AI. So the winning move here is to become more human. And when I started to look at the 150 interviews of leaders and start to really codify that, there's another aspect that came up that I call the compression zone, that we're all in this compressed time, less resources, less money, under tremendous pressure. That's the other thing that really came out, from the leaders. And when I started to encode the interviews that I did, really 4 layers came out. And some of the leaders already alluded to some of them, which is what I call the inner operating system, which is, where are you as a leader? Are you being reactive or are you being creative? So that's really part of the inner operating system. And then the team operating system, and that's going to become so important as we're in this compression zone. How do we actually get teams to work in a unified manner? Where's their energy battery, so to speak? Is it high or is it low, or, is it being added to or depleted? So as you operate as a leader with teams, what does that actually look like in the compression zone? And then enterprise operating system, one of the things that I learned from leaders is they're focused on next quarter, not the next decade. So how do you actually come out of these patterns, as leaders? And then the world operating system, and, Tio, I think you alluded to this. Are you doing good in the world? So that's really important in the world that we're operating in. So those are really the 4 layers as I started to decode the interviews that I did. And being human is going to be core to leadership, in the compression zone that we're in. And that's the job no one talks about. We're talking about AI, but we're not talking about humanity and how to become more human. So in this summit, we're going to walk through all of these 4 layers. You'll understand what I learned and potential tools that'll help you, no matter where you're leading. So I really look forward to it. And I think even more so, the stack of leaders that just spoke, what an incredible lineup of leaders that we have, and learning from multiple dimensions. So please join us on August 21st.
Man, that's exciting. Definitely exciting. We appreciate you, brother Ed. We're definitely looking forward to how we can continue to be human, to look out for each other, to love one another, to care for one another. True brother and sister's keeper. So we definitely appreciate you, Ed. And that makes me think about another individual. Couldn't be with us tonight because he's out in Trinidad making things happen as a leader, has been out there for the last week or so, pouring into the youth, pouring into, the families and the staff out there. One and only our brother Lancelot Theobald. Theobald, man, he's an actor, producer, author, host of an amazing show. Go check it out. Former professional athlete, football guy, motivator whose work centers on discipline, growth, leadership, and man, just helping people move from being stuck to unstoppable. So, man, we love you, Lance. We know you're out there doing great work, brother, and we look forward to what you're going to bring to that table come August the 21st at the Unified Leadership Summit. And next, you all, without further ado, I could promise you it's hard because I every Friday morning I have the opportunity to wake up and get myself together, shave, brush the teeth, do everything I need to do, and skirt downstairs and turn this device on and be with one of the greatest men that I've ever met in my entire life. Who is that man? Many of you know him. 10 shows. I think Seafood probably got shows up on the moon that we don't even know about. And somebody up there is watching. But man, my co-host, my brother, man, my mentor, a leader to me that I look up to. And man, what is it about Seafood? Man, he's a master instructor. That's seafood master, Rafael Gomez. Seafood is a master. Raphael's his first name, last name Gomez. He's an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, I would say, leadership strategist, founder of the Speaking Prowess, co-founder of Unified Leadership. Man, I could keep naming them. NYC Mastermind Experience. He's got the dopest dojo in the state of New York, 100%. If you haven't been up there, go up there. I promise you, I'm not telling any fibs on that. And man, with more than 50 years in martial arts and decades of leadership and experience, he's dedicated his life, you all, no jokes, to helping lead with greater clarity, confidence, discipline, and purpose, man. And I could truly vouch for that. And I know every other leader on this screen with us tonight, and many of our friends that's out there in the chat that's tuned in and listening know this to be true and certain about this man. Please welcome you all, my good brother, representing Farmingdale, New York. Please welcome Brother Seafood, Raphael, man.
Wow, what an honor. Thank you so much. And I know where I have to send a check. Thank you for that introduction. But when we consider the people that we all heard from, I am blown away by every one of you. So thank you. And I know August 21st is going to be an exceptional, exceptional day for all of us. I am looking forward. And I know Amy said she doesn't want us to take notes. Amy, I'm sorry. I know that when you speak, my notes are going to be full. This is why I'm charged. Right now, I'm charging my Remarkable too. I got to make sure it's all taken care of. But let me ask you something. Who's in your circle? Not your contacts, not your friend list. I mean, people you actually turn to when things get hard. The ones you trust enough to expand your mind. Here's the thing that most of us get wrong. We fill that circle with the wrong people. A friend is not the same as an ally. A colleague is not the same as an ally. A friend, even family member, can be someone you love and they tell you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear. A colleague can respect your role and still not be holding out or actually holding out and not even looking out for your best interest. An ally is different. An ally tells you the truth, even when it's easier not to. An ally will always look out for your best interest. That kind of trust isn't conditional, and it's not common. I learned this the hard way. I was part of a group which led me to believe I was in the inner circle, me, little old me. It wasn't. And once I saw what it was, I actually had to make a decision, a tough decision, because I really enjoyed the group. One I'll tell you about on August 21st, because it changed how I build every circle I'm part of since then. Here's what I will tell you now. You don't just find allies. You have to be one, and you have to be an ally. You can't just find them, you have to be one. And that's the most important part that people never get to, because it's the hardest part of the work. On August 21st, I'm going to walk you through what real leadership circle looks like, how to build one, and how to become the kind of person worth having in it. I hope you will be there with us on August 21st. I'm Sifa Raphael, and I got to tell you, it has been an honor to be with everybody tonight. And I think we may have somebody joining us again. So here's the thing. Consider the importance of leadership, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for quite some time. I don't believe every leader knows everything. And that's why when Amy was speaking, I raised my hand. Coach Teo.
If what you're hearing tonight is already making you think differently about leadership, imagine what happens when we spend an entire day together. On August the 21st, from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern, the Unified Leadership Summit brings these leaders together for a full day of conversation, strategy, perspectives, and light bulb lessons designed to help you grow at every stage of your leadership journey. The registration link is in the chat, you all. It's running across the bottom. And I could be honest with you, look at the screen right now, man, and make the commitment. Invest in yourself. That's what every leader on this screen tries to make that effort every single day to do, is invest in themselves as leaders. And the impact is enormous. So go to unifiedleader.com/summit and secure your seat. Don't be afraid. Think about it. Do I want to be on August the 22nd in the same position that I was in on August the 21st? If the answer is no, come and be with us. Don't just watch the speaker spotlight tonight. Join us for the full experience on August the 21st.
I'm going to echo that because we've had echo situations happening tonight. So I'm going to ask all of the speakers to unmute, and if there's echo, it's what we want, right? Right now, everybody unmute and just tell them why they need to be here. If you hear me more than once, it's what it is, echo.
Well, I'd like to add something to what Coach Teo just said. It's an investment, right? So we are investing in ourselves each day as coaches, as leaders. And when we think about investing in our business or our life, it's a key word, because everything we do, it goes into our personal bank account, and our personal investment goes back into us and the people around us. So as Sifu said, the people that we surround ourselves with, we can enrich their lives by investing in our lives. So I thought that was a great word you used, Coach Teo, And looking forward to everybody making the investment and joining us.
I just want to say that when you invest in yourself, it's like it's compounds. It compounds and it compounds and it compounds. And the more that you build on you, the better that you become. And I think that we forget about it. I think we forget about those small little things. And those small things, when they build upon each other, that's when the big things happen. So build on the small things.
I would add real quick, join us, and when you join us, think about how do I invest and get your return on investment on your time as far as really be present. A lot of times we try to do different things and we don't get full experience. So join us and be really present. Try to shut off other things. Try to really get what you can out of the experience instead of what we call multitasking.
I'm just gonna give out a big old explosion.
You know, one of the things that I think is so important is when you're a leader, it's not a solo activity. It's an activity that requires those around you, those that are opposed to you, to understand what you're all about and to be clear around the direction that you think you need to go with whatever you're doing, whether it's a project, an initiative, a corporation, or whatever. And defining your purpose is a part of that. And this group is imbued with that experience, that capability. And I think that you'll find that the experience will be really very, very good for all of you.
You know, I'd say, Sifu, when I think about the word unified leadership, it only unifies when you're learning from multiple dimensions, right? And understanding different perspectives of leaders. And when I hear all the speakers and the backgrounds that they have, the energy they bring, the learning that they'll bring, that to me is multidimensional. And that's what makes you a better leader, is understanding different perspectives and then leveraging those perspectives. So I think that's why this is so powerful.
Choosing
Agreed.
to be in the room is a decision worth pouring into. Every single voice that you've heard is a part of your plan to take yourself to the next level. We don't do it alone. We do it by echoing. We do it by the energy that's in this space. Be fed. On August 21st, you won't leave the same way that you came. I came to this conversation not expecting what I got. I am full. I am full. And I know that every single speaker, every single person on this call has so much more to share. You just got a glimpse of that. So if you want the full experience, you have got to be in the room on August 21st. I will. And I will be like Sifu. I will have I won't have a remarkable, but I'll have plenty of paper to take notes.
I
I
love
love
that,
what
Renee.
Robert Lytle put in. It's great to be in the right echo chamber. Go ahead, Amy.
All good, Sifu. I was just going to echo Renee. I love this. The most expensive comfort that I have ever experienced was believing that I knew it all. And I can tell you, the people in this room have taught me so much about myself and what leadership looks like in the world when we compound our powers. So don't hurt yourself by not investing in this room to expand the greatness that's waiting to be found inside of you.
Yeah, I would say, thank you for that, Amy. I would say the power of the collective. That's what this represents. This is iron sharpening iron at its finest. And I'm so excited to hear everybody with the full presentations on the 21st. You know, the biggest thing a leader can do is when they realize that they don't have to grow alone. And that's what this opportunity is about. Thank you.
Mhm. I gotta say, I want to wish everybody an incredible night. Thank you for spending the time. I know it's Sunday night. I know you want to be with your family. And thank you for taking the hour that you did spend with us. It is an incredible time. Thank you to all of you incredible speakers. I am so eager to learn from you, and I am blessed that God saw in my heart that I needed to connect with Coach Theo Clay, and we discussed over and over again what we were going to create. And I'm so blessed that we both shared the same vision because God spoke to both of us.
That's right. Hey, special. Looking forward. Wow, man.
All right. You guys hang out for a minute. We're going to say goodbye to our audience. Everybody, God bless. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Take care, everybody.
Unify leadership. Let's move. Let's lead. Let's ride. Unify leadership. Light the flame, turn it up loud. Remember the name. Unify leadership.